Okay guys, Mr. Vestek here. Now this is my first unboxing video. This is of a pickup that I made recently. I actually got it couriered from a guy in Limerick who was good enough to get it sorted out and couriered pretty quickly. So this here is a console that I actually never really owned when I was growing up. Sega Saturn. So this box hasn't really been touched at all. All I've really done with it is taken off the address because I don't really want any of you creepy people trying to, you know, come to where I live to say hi or, yeah, that'd be weird. No, stalk me or, I don't know. Anyway, come have a beer with me. I don't know. The address is here in crumpled form if you want it, but yeah, that's, sorry about that. Anyway. Let's get this box open. It seems to be packaged pretty well actually. I can't find a blade of any sort, but the bit on this screwdriver seems to be pretty sharp, so hopefully it'll do the job. What way is this packaged together at all? Let's see. Piece of cardboard on the top it looks like. Yeah, okay. Down the other side. Quite excited actually, because to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure the only time I ever really played a Sega Saturn was over at a friend's house, like when I was 8 or 9. I think I only ever remember playing Sonic Jam, which was only like Sonic 1, 2 and 3 anyway. So I never really got to play any of the classics like Knights. I've heard everybody talk about Knights, never played it, don't know what it's like. Couple of other good ones that I actually managed to pick up or borrow off a friend of mine, like the Die Hard trilogy and that kind of thing. So really looking forward to that. Don't have a memory card though, which is a little bit unfortunate. Because I know the internal memory of the Saturn's not supposed to be great. Okay, here we go. What's this? Wang me up. Retro computers, consoles and games. Oh, it's business. I didn't realise that. Okay, I might actually hold on to those business cards. This is, you know, I'm actually going to get the camera in a little bit closer for this. Right, so as you can see, this is actually packaged quite well. What's this? This is the power cable. It just takes any kind of standard power cable as far as I'm aware, so. But even still, at least it's wrapped up really nicely. That doesn't look like it has a fuse. Oh well, we get to that later. So I can always replace that. That's a pretty generic standard part anyway. What's this here? Oh, this is the controller. Excellent. Very similar to the, let me see if I can show you there. Very similar to the Mega Drive controller, the 6-button controller with the shoulder pads. It seems a bit, yeah, it seems a bit stiff, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I just have one of those. Now, he said that it didn't have a video cable, but there is, I did manage to borrow one to see if it boots up later on, so. More newspaper. That's actually on here, actually. Party season in chocolat. Yeah, there you go. It's party season in chocolat. You can read it right there. See? Read it for yourself. Alright. And now we come to the old hotness. This is packaged. I'm really surprised actually. It's packaged really, really well. Let's move the box out of the way there. Okay. Wow, this is really light actually. I'm really surprised at this. Bubble wrap. Bubble wrap. Bubble wrap. Sorry, yeah, this is really packaged really well. I'm very surprised. You know, you buy some stuff off of some guys online and they just throw it in a box and send it to you. I'm so surprised at how light this console is. It's ridiculous. See that? Let's get all this out of the way. so we can, come on, get out of the way. Right, there's the console itself. Sega Saturn. I'm sure you all know what it is. It's not in pristine condition. I wasn't really expecting it to be in pristine condition though. A few scratches. I'm sure I can buff that out with a bit of WD-40. That's a trick actually I learned from RetroGameTech. If you don't know those guys, you gotta subscribe to that channel, youtube.com/RetroGameTech even. Awesome Scottish guy. Love to go for a drink with him one day. Probably never gonna happen, but whatever. Disc open tray. Oh, that's not very good. That doesn't sound right. Well, he did say it powers up, so let's hook it up to the TV and see what happens. Before I actually hook it up to my TV, I just want to show you guys a couple of pickups that I've made personally, and then I'll show you a couple of the games that I've actually managed to borrow from a friend of mine. I bought a lot of these loose because, to be honest with you, I don't really plan on starting a huge Saturn collection, so I'm not really concerned with having the boxes or manuals or that kind of thing like I probably would be with the Dreamcast. It's just to have a couple of things lying around, really, to be honest with you. I only really want to get the important things like, you know, as I said, Sega Rally, Knights, that kind of thing. Wipeout. I'm sure there are more. So this is Virtua Fighter 2. I just bought it loose in a case that's kind of broken. Kind of reminds me of the Dreamcast cases, so very flimsy. I know this isn't a real Saturn case, but you know. So yeah, Virtua Fighter 2. Disc seems to be in okay-ish condition. I actually bought these in a store or shop in Dublin called The Rage, just on Fade Street. They do old vinyl records and old video game consoles and games and junk and stuff, and I'm sure that checks in the post. But yeah, really good prices actually for high street store. Then there's the obligatory Daytona USA. It's the PAL copy because I'm in the PAL region. I don't really plan on modifying it anytime soon. Yeah, disc seems to be in okay-ish condition, and I'll buff that up later on anyway. And the only real boxed one that I have, which was cheap enough and was in decent enough condition, is Sega Rally. Now, everybody and their mother had this game from what I've read, so it's cheap as chips and just as readily available. Seems you have everything really. You have the disc, a few fingerprints, but not too many scratches. Happy enough with that. Some leaflet thing. Sega Worldwide Soccer 98. 98? Really? I suppose they were still releasing stuff for the Saturn when the Dreamcast was out. Duke Nukem 3D. Was that ever released? Oh, if Duke Nukem 3D was released for the Saturn, I have to get a copy of that. I've got balls of steel. Sonic Jam. Yeah, that's another one I want to get my hands on. Discworld. What else is there? I know I'm rambling now a little bit. Resident Evil. I have that for the PlayStation. Not too concerned. Wipeout. And Quake. I have borrowed that. Yeah, manual. Jesus. Excuse the swearing. The manual's actually in pretty good condition, but look at the size of the thing. It's very like the European manual for the Street Fighter game that I was showing you guys. Yeah, there's certainly they had to put a lot of languages in there, so they're just like, you know, really, really big. Another thing that I don't get about the Saturn games as well is that, like, you know, they either come in a box like this, well, especially in Europe anyway, or where did I put that back? Oh, I don't actually have any of the other cases. They're all the same. Well, I'm sure you know the ones that I mean. They're a lot thicker than that. They kind of seem more like a Mega Drive case to me. Anyway, here's a couple of the games very quickly that I borrowed off a friend of mine. We had to go up into his attic for a couple of these. So there's Wipeout. I'm not going to inspect the cases because, you know, they're not mine and not really my concern. NBA Jam Extreme. Now there's one that I didn't even actually know existed. I thought the last time they did anything with NBA Jam was the arcade game that you can get on the Xbox 360. Apparently not. And then Die Hard Arcade, which is supposed to be fantastic. What else do I have? I have Quake and Sonic 3D. Sonic 3D actually doesn't look that bad. I know Sonic fans give it a lot of flack, but it seems to be okay to me. So yeah, let's see if we can get the Saturn up and running and see if it actually works. Okay guys, you're gonna have to forgive the mess around my TV. I was experimenting with some stuff with the Dreamcast and my new broadband adapter, and a couple of things to do with the SD card, which I'll go into in a later video. Now, the Saturn is all hooked up. Just have to connect the controller to it and put in a game. I'm going to put in Sonic 3D, because, you know, why not? Alright, let's check this out. Let's do this. Let's connect the controller. I'm still surprised at how much, you know, good condition this console is in. I mean, there's a couple of scratches. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. There's some of the paint is kind of worn away from the plastic, but that can kind of be covered up pretty easily. So let's put the game in here. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah. I'm still not sure about that drivetrain, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. Alright, let's check this out. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Well, it's powering on. Oh, it works. Hey. Oh, the video signal isn't great, but hey, the controller works. So that's good. It's like it's been factory reset. That's pretty good. What do I want? English. Yeah. No, that doesn't do anything. What do I do? Press start? No? C? No? I guess so. Right. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Right. Main menu. Drive empty. Drive isn't empty. Hold on. Drive door open. Drive door closed. Drive empty. There's a disc in there. Oh, why do I have a funny feeling that this isn't spinning the disc? Let's try it with another game. Right, I've just put in Die Hard Arcade. I did have Sonic 3D in before that. I'm going to close the drive door and see what happens. And it sounds like the laser is struggling to read the disc. The disc is spinning. Yeah, I don't think the laser thinks there's anything there. Okay, gonna have to clean that up. Okay guys, so I did actually manage to get this working properly. I just quickly needed to take it apart and reconnect one of the drive cables and clean the laser, which wasn't reading the discs properly. And it seems to be up and running now, apart from the faulty controller. The controller seems to be holding down one of the buttons constantly. I took it apart, and it's not any of the pads in the controller or anything like that. It's something to do with the circuit board itself. So the controller itself is just fried. There are no frayed cables or anything like that, which is a bit annoying. But at least I can show you the console booting. Now I have to do it without the controller attached, so I won't really be able to go through any of the menus of the games or anything like that. And for some reason it doesn't like launching games from this menu. It only seems to like doing it from when you actually start it up, so that's a bit weird. Anyway, I'm going to put the drive lid down and just hit the reset button. This should boot then directly into Die Hard Arcade. Hopefully anyway. I've been having a bit of trouble with this particular Saturn, but maybe that's because when I took it apart there was a lot of gunk inside it. There was green stuff growing inside it, which isn't very good, but you can see it loading up there anyway, and it should go to the main menu soon enough. Yeah, there we go. So it works anyway. I'm happy with that. I just need to replace the controller. the battery on it is dead as well, so I need to replace the battery for date and game saves and that kind of thing. I'll also need to maybe track down a memory card for it and that kind of thing. But yeah, really happy with the purchase. €20, not too expensive. Yeah, pretty happy with this purchase. Thanks very much for watching, guys.